Ladies and gentlemen.
Lush, ludicrous. Yeah, man. Once again, this song.
1 2 1 2 1 2.
We have to do it again, right?
B.A.R.E Truth in the building. It's going down. Boy, that's Usher. Stop playing. Baby. Man, what's going down? B.A.R.E Truth in the building. How you feeling? Checking these platforms.
Take a shot of this here Patron,
and it's gonna be on. What's going down with everybody? Rough day today, man. Look at my man. Yeah. I'm just trying to check some of my stats. They got my man funeral going on today. Rest in peace to Hody Ho, my nigga Daryl. Ho dog. What's up, baby? Rest in heaven. Shout out to everybody that's over there that's at the funeral. You know what I mean? I got some things that's going on. I couldn't make it, but I'm sending my prayers and my shout outs. I'm sending my love over there to Indianapolis and say, hey, man, listen, I know it's hard right now, but God bless y'all. Lil Ronnie, keep your head up, bro. Crystal, Deshauna, I love y'all. Miss Angeletta, I love y'all. Rest in peace to Hody, man. Sometimes wanna be your lover. Sometimes wanna be your friend. Sometimes wanna hug you. Hold hands, slow dance while the record spins. Hey, this was that knock. Like, if you hear this in the club, I don't care who you is. It's like grown up like Rudy Huxtable. I could beat me up. Play fight in the dark, then we both make up. I do anything just to feel your buzz. Why you got me so messed up? I don't know, but you gotta stop tripping. Be a good girl now, turn around and get this whipping. Just giving people a few minutes to tap in, man. I was checking some of my platforms. Somehow I got kicked off of TikTok before I even got started. You know what I mean? Like, how did that happen? I don't know. I got 1,000 followers over there. I'm gonna tell you something, man. I really don't got this social media thing down packed. One thing I do be doing is like, I kind of got Facebook together. So what I usually do is I just been mastering that. So like my sister said, I'm gonna have to take out some time. I got a schedule. I got to get over to the YouTube channel. So the YouTube channel is B.A.R.E Truth with the dots, like, you know what I mean? B.A.R.E. Truth. Then it might be like restream, and you'll see all the podcasts that I ever did. I mean, I got podcasts from back in like 2022. So now what I got to do is go back and make the subtitles the title so people can see them, and then YouTube can start pushing them. Because I made the page, but then it's just like, I know how to work this. So I'm not really computer savvy. So I kind of dropped the ball on that. I dropped the ball on Instagram. So what I'm going to have to do is go back and one day spend time individually. So listen, if you checking me out on the book and you feel like you've been giving me messages on Instagram and I wasn't paying attention, it ain't that. It's just like my mind don't register like that. I keep telling people I can't multitask. And so it's like I dropped the ball on that on TikTok. And so I don't even try Snapchat. It's too much going on out here, man. It's like I can't keep up with all of that. You know what I'm saying? And pictures. And then when you be on Snapchat, people be sending you like pictures flashing you of some shit. It's like, listen, man, don't do that if I didn't ask you for them. I didn't ask you for them, so don't send them to my thing. You dig what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna try to figure it out, man. But I gotta tell you, social media is the move. It's the new life. This is what everybody is doing, and some people is getting paid off this. You know what I mean? So it's really a job. So if you take this thing seriously, and you do it, it's a job. Shout out to Too Cold. Pop the balloon in Indianapolis. I like what you be doing, my dude. You be doing your thing, and so I always be following his little show, and I like his inspiration, his encouragement, man. I wish I could have been in Nap today. They buried my brother, my little brother. You know what I mean, from another mother. And so, man, it's crazy. Little Hody, man, sheesh, it's ugly. But at the same time, like I'm saying, I've been going through some things too. So I've been kind of like trying to keep it together, man. So let me see. I'm trying to get back to try to see if I'm live. Well, I know for a fact I'm live. I see myself over here on the phone. These pages don't always be showing up, but listen, matter of fact, let's don't do that before anybody knows something. I don't know what you got to drink, but turn up for Christ or burn up for life. This is my little non-alcoholic wine. My little phrase, turn up for Christ or burn up for life. You know why I be saying that? Just because we turn up for everything else in the world, you know. You turn up, man, for birthday parties. Man, y'all turning up for baby showers. You dig what I'm saying? And nowadays they really like turn up for funerals though too. You go to a funeral now, it's colored themed. So you got to wear a certain color, you know what I mean, to go to a funeral like now. Not to say that you got to show up in a color, but and do I think it's cool? You know what I mean? Yeah, whatever, it's clever. But at the end of the day, I feel like this. If we put that much energy into any and everything else, look at the stupid phone. But if we put that energy into any and everything else, why don't we turn up for Christ? Or, as the Bible say, you can burn up for life. Now, I ain't gonna try to start no religious argument or no spiritual beliefs. You know what I mean? That's not what we're doing. And so, yeah. Uh, let me see something. Always. But okay. So I got my chats up. Anybody want to tap in? You want to ask some questions? Please ask some questions. Jump in here and ask some questions. We're gonna talk about something that's kind of cool today, and I might put the spiritual spin on it. You dig what I'm saying? Just because I just got done telling you about turn up for Christ or burn up for life, just like little bitty nuggets. Um, I titled it "Assumptions plus Presumptions Equal Disasters." And what I was trying to say is, and this happens a lot on Facebook. It happens when you talking to people or you meeting people, and mostly like in relationships. People, excuse me, make assumptions all the time. You know what I mean? People are always making assumption off of something that they think, and then we're gonna give you the definitions of assumption, vice versa, presumption. You dig what I'm saying? And so a presumption is a little bit different. Both of the words is kind of derived from the same thing, but there's a difference. And here's how they both can go wrong. So I'm gonna show you this video. And then, you know, when I'm showing you these videos, for anybody that want to know, Thursday's love versus hate, I kind of make it more relationship because that way, if we make it like more like relationships, everybody can talk about going through something. Everybody want love, or everybody wants a friend, or might want something like that. So if I can put some little studies together and kind of bring something to the table and share it with y'all, see how y'all feel, then we just bouncing ideas. So Thursday's the love versus hate. It's not like I'm going through some problems where you know what I mean, my love life is effed up or somebody broke my heart. It ain't like that. But sometimes I'll use my examples just to prove a point. So it's not taking a shot at anybody that might have been my friend or something like that. And so I'll never say nobody name. But if I give you an example, it's only to educate you or kind of like give you a visual of what I was trying to say. You dig what I was saying? Because when we was in prison, I always learned how to speak like this. Matter of fact, even in college, when you take writing 101, the cue is to show and not tell. So of course, when you public speaking, you talking, but you always want to give somebody an image, and then that way they can paint a picture in their head and they can be like, okay, it makes more sense because I've been through that. I see what you're saying. You know what I mean? So if I ever use like a tidbit of a story that I'm going through, don't mean that it's here in the now. It just means that, okay, here's a little something from my life because I can basically tell you about me. You know what I mean? Why not wear my emotions on my sleeve or my heart on my sleeve and you know, give you the example. Who but me? You know? And so stop trying to dig between the lines. Like is you going through something, is you going through a breakup, is your heart broke? Did somebody break your heart? No, it's not. It's just me trying to share some information, hoping that we can all learn together. Maybe you might ask me a question. So don't think you a detective face because you're not. You're not smart. No, I'm just playing. You are smart. You did what I'm saying. You are intelligent. I'm just saying, but don't think that you know my life because you don't. Assumptions plus presumptions equal disaster. Let me show you this video. We're gonna talk about them both, and then we're gonna break them both down. Give me like 1 second, real quick. All right, check this one out. Here it is.
Assume means to suppose something is true despite having no evidence for it. If we met for the first time, I might pour you a coffee and say, I assume you like coffee. I'm not basing it on any evidence, I'm just guessing. Presume, on the other hand, means to suppose something is true based on evidence or probability. Note the prefix pre means before. You're basing this on prior knowledge. So in the same situation, if you put your phone on the table and I see your Starbucks loyalty card there, I might hand you a coffee and say, I saw your Starbucks card, I presume you like coffee. I'm basing it on evidence. Now, often these words are interchangeable. In this conversation, you might say to me, you have children. Now, which word can you use? I think there's a strong argument for either. I assume you have children. You know nothing about me, so you're just guessing. Or, I presume you have children. You see a guy in his 40s, he probably has kids.
Choose your partner wisely. Don't just be sleeping with people because they look good, because a person could look good on the outside, but really damage on the inside. And that's a lot of us out there. I've met a lot of women in my life that are beautiful, but they got so much trauma, so much toxic energy that is unbearable. You don't even want to be with. A lot of people out there like to major in minor things. A lot of women, a lot of men. So it's important for y'all to understand, be mindful of the people that you sleep with and lay down with and plant seed with, because the seed can be rotten before you even plant it without you even knowing.
A disaster. I meant to turn that off, but you get the note. So, assumption with presumption can be in a disaster. And one of the things that he said, let me start with the guy first. I wanted to take down that note real quick. Okay, so he was the white guy was just basically giving you two examples. So he wearing them out on a scale, like on an assumption, like say for instance, you can assume somebody has kids and you don't know. You know what I mean? Sometimes you might meet somebody on a dating app, and then you just think because they say, okay, I'm 45. But just because they 45, that's an assumption to think that they have kids. But then when you base it off of age, you saying, okay, based on your age, most people that's in their 40s already got, you know what I mean, like kids. Or what if the presumption is that, okay, since you're in your 45s, your kids are not babies. You know what I mean? Maybe you had your kids at an early age. Any which way it go, an assumption and a presumption can be wrong. And the reason why I wanted to bring this up is because we do it all the time. You dig what I'm saying? We do it like in relationships. You do it in friendships, you know, and sometimes I'm gonna tell you something, them assumptions will definitely blow a friendship. Everybody's so sensitive today. You know what I mean? It's like in 2025, you can't say nothing to nobody without them getting the attitude or assuming that you meant something, you know what I mean, totally different. You know what I mean? And then I'm guilty of the presumptions, you know what I mean? Because being locked up, uh, presumption is having like a little bit, assumption is having like not a lick of evidence. Like you don't got no evidence, you don't know shit. You just walk up on somebody and you just feel like you know, you just think you smart. You know, you ever get people that feel like they can read everybody? And it's just like, you might have been right when you was, you know, when you read this person, or maybe you thought that it was something about him, you know what I mean? But that don't mean you know nothing. You you dig what I'm saying? Stop trying to be a detective or trying to be a smart face when you not. But I'm guilty of the presumptions because this is what I would do. Okay, so a presumption, another example is like this. I was in prison and people used to make me promises. Like, man, I'm finna send you some pictures, man. Yup, we're gonna send you some pictures or we're gonna send you some money. You know what I mean? And so usually when somebody make you a promise and then they don't cash in on the promise, in prison, the normal thing to do is to throw up the brick wall. So now, in order to stop yourself from getting hurt, you have to throw up this force field or this brick wall because you don't want nobody to hurt your feelings. So it's like, when you tell me something and you don't do it, I'm I'm calloused. You dig what I'm saying? Just like your hands get calloused from working out, my heart is calloused now. My mind is calloused. Like I don't care what you say. It's too hard now. So if you send me some, cool. If you don't, life goes on, and you get that. You know, I hate to say it, but that fuck it mentality. Like if you do, that's dope. But if you don't, all right, then it is what it is. I ain't new to nobody letting me down. Here's the downfall: coming out here into the world and meeting people, you're going to always have some people that's going to let you down. They're going to smile in your face. I mean, when I first came home, it went like that. I was asking guys for a few things that I needed, to be successful with the hair clipping thing. And, I would ask them, they would say they was going, but never, did. Don't mean that they bad people. Don't mean that it was like that. But, out the gate, it just, it molds your heart to keep that same energy that you just had when you was in the joint. So now this presumptuous attitude or mentality. Now, when I go talk to a lady, a female friend, um, what if she says something and then all of a sudden she can't complete the task or she can't keep her word? Now, it could be sweetheart could probably have kids. She could probably have a busy life and she dropped the ball on something. But if you know what I mean, if she like let me down, automatically it was the force field. You see what I'm saying? Or I throw up the brick wall because I ain't finna let nobody hurt me. Because now you done had this habit of doing it. Some people got a habit of assuming that you think you know everything. And so you in a relationship and you hung out, ladies, y'all, you must have been with some chick. You must have been laying up, you must have been doing this and that. No, your ex-boyfriend was doing that. So now you done put me in the box with him. And now you upset every time I go somewhere or something. Now you gotta question me. You don't I gotta get blamed for everything that he did. So now you assuming that all men is dogs just because now we done started this relationship and the last dude cheated on you or he beat it on you or something like that. You just assume that, that out the gate, oh, you just a dog or you just like all men. And it's crazy because ladies, sometimes I ain't gonna say it's y'all that do the majority of it because guys are sensitive too. They try to act like they cocky and hard, but they sensitive. But y'all really do got problems when it comes to stuff like that. And the biggest thing I can say for you, you gotta heal because every man out here is not dogs, and we'll get into some of the other different things that y'all be doing. I'm gonna show y'all this other video. We're gonna get into assumptions first because I got a list and we're gonna talk about the list. So I don't want to give away all the good stuff like that. We just want to break down the two. So now that you got a full definition of assumption. Assumption is saying that you don't got a lick of evidence, no proof, no nothing, and you just come somewhere and you just automatically assume that you know what you're talking about. You dig what I'm saying? And so presumption is saying, okay, I got like a little bit of proof. You dig what I'm saying? I've been through this, and if I see this or something like that, you know, I can make a judgment call. But then again, your judgment call can still be right. So a lot of times we blow in relationships because we fell into listen and we fell into communicate. And so maybe we should do a podcast on different tips and different ways to like communicate with people because I think we do like communication skills, especially through text will fuck communication up. You know what I mean? You would take a text, and to me, I know that I read text sometimes wrong. Like if you use the wrong word, because me, I'm a reader. I read books, and so when you use certain words carry energy for me. You dig what I'm saying? And it'll make me feel like it's automatically coming off with attitude. And so I gotta learn too. So as I'm telling y'all about it, like yeah, I struggle with the shit too. So let's check out this other one. Let me show you this video, and then we're gonna go into assumptions versus presumptions. Let's check this first one out. All right, here we go.
Do you know what is one of the major issues in relationships? Assumptions. We always like to make assumptions, but we never ask questions. Before creating scenarios in your mind, you need to have a conversation about whatever it was that bothered you, whatever it was that made you feel some type of way. Express yourself. Don't keep it in, because what's going to end up happening is you start creating things in your mind and your mind starts to play tricks on you and you think it's really happening. And the whole entire time you were wrong. And sometimes you're right.
If we are in relationship, can we please stop assuming your partner has a need, your partner has a concern? We are so used to perceiving when they bring up an issue as if they are complaining. It's perception. We jump to conclusions. We don't pause long enough. We don't breathe and say, hey, tell me more. We automatically assume that your partner is criticizing you. And maybe this stems from your childhood because all you heard from your caregiver is you're not doing this right and clean your room and you don't do that right. And now your lady's voice sounds like your mother. Your man's voice sounds like your father. If we are in relationship, can we start to give each other the benefit of the doubt? Can we please stop assuming?
Stop and think. Okay. And I really thought that was dope. I'm gonna double back and come to some of this stuff, but like she said, that's one of the number one things that are stopping a relationship. You dig what I'm saying? Because people fail to stop and ask questions. I think we all been guilty of it. You dig what I'm saying? You get a little bit of a conversation from a person and you automatically think you know this person. You know what I mean? And you will assess and a judgment on them, or you feel like you think you know how they feel. You know what I mean? And by me, okay, me for an example, doing different types of podcasts and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Having people talk to me or just talking to different people on the messenger and stuff like that. Sometimes you'll get certain energy and you'll feel like, okay, well, this is that crowd of people. This is what they do. You know what I'm saying? And so you'll assume that this is what they own and this is what they do. And it's not right, especially like if you're in a relationship, if you feel like somebody is doing something, one of the first things you want to do is when you walk in and you have a conversation with somebody, um, when I said stop and think about it, just because you know what I mean, you don't have a problem telling the person off, does that mean that you're supposed to just come in, you dig what I'm saying, on 10? Like it don't mean that you got the right to come and talk to somebody on how you feel. So you and your feelings, you finna come cuss me out on something that you think you know about and you don't know. I remember a person did that to me, man. And what had happened was I knew somebody and they were fresh in town. They was like friends of my family, and they was all from the south. You dig what I'm saying? And so me and this person went out to this to one of my buddy's birthday parties. You know what I mean? And there was a colored theme. You know what I mean? You had to dress up and everything. And so we went out and we kicked it. You know what I'm saying? And there was a lot of people that was there, and so there wasn't nothing between me and this person, but we hung out for that day because they was fresh in town and they needed to see, what was going on here. You know what I mean? And during that time, they had somebody in their family that was sick. They needed to clear their mind. And I really thought it was dope just to get out, dress up, get out, clear your mind, man. Come on out and have some fun. You dig what I'm saying? And then after the little party was over with, we stopped at another little place. We grabbed some wings. I took that person to the crib and dropped them off. And that was that. A couple of days later, you dig what I'm saying? So we was posting like pictures and stuff like on the book, on the story. A couple of days later, a little female friend of mine, she like, dang, I'm glad that that you let me know that you had a girlfriend. I mean, dang, you could have like, let me know that you had something going on instead of just posting it on the book. Automatically assumed that me and this person was together and didn't never ask me no question, but spazzed out. I'm talking about the message in my phone was so crazy because you accused me of doing something or something that it was, and you didn't even ask me. So shit, I'm on 10. You know what I mean? So I'm saying now I wake up and I read it and I'm like, what? So it's like, so before you even now you so mad before you even get the chance to like, all right, explain it or say what's going on. Now you done spazzed out. So now both parties is on 10 and they yelling and they sending crazy texts back and forth. And now it's just like before you before you know it, it's not funny. But I said this. I was just like, man, I don't want them and I don't want you. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? And it just put me in a state of mind like, man, fuck dating. You dig what I'm saying? I don't even want to talk to people because it's not like we was in a relationship but we had been talking and we had been being friends, and we was, you know what I mean? We was digging each other and talking about everything, and the phone conversation. It's just like, man, you just spazzed out on something that you didn't even know nothing about. You know what I mean? And you never asked me no nothing. And it was so crazy that it turned into it. So when we say assumptions, man, make sure that you stop and you think, you know, stop and say, okay, when I come to the house, you know what I mean? Let me see. Somebody said something. What's up? What's up, cousin? Nikki Moore said, hey, what's going down? Rachel. Okay, here come Rachel. I knew she was coming. But I want to tell you something, like real quick, and then I'm going to read what Rachel has to say. Somebody, please tap in, ladies, because I need y'all to give other people different things to talk about. We keep the dialogue going when y'all talk about it. If you experienced anything, we're not trying to embarrass nobody, but we definitely we want to say something. You dig what I'm saying? Exactly, Cuzzo. So cousin said, all she had to do was asked. And that's the truth. And so one of the things that I learned when I was in prison, when I was being discipled, Jeff DeBoer said, when he says, whenever, like, and he was talking about, like, when you're dealing with people and talking about religion can spin people and make people go crazy. People assume that since I'm a Christian, that I hate any and everybody that's not a Christian because of what they believe in. The Bible says, always be ready to give a defense for the hope that's in you. And so I'm going to argue my opinion of what I feel or what I believe in the Bible, but I am not finna sit up and argue with you on what you believe and why you believe. And here's a good way that he told us to handle stuff like that. And I'm gonna give it to you because maybe you can use this, you know what I mean, when you're dealing with it. So at the end of that little commercial, remember I said, stop and think. Listen, he says, when you're talking to people sometimes and you see that the situation is getting heated and it's getting an argument, he says, always hit them with, like, reply with the questions, with the what, where, why, and stuff like that. So he says, so okay, what made you feel that way? Okay. And how could I have handled the situation different so that would have made you, you know what I mean, maybe not get so mad. Okay. And so when did you feel like, you know what I mean, this happened? And so you figure it out and you answer, you know what I mean, you fill out the rest of the hows, the what, when, where, and how. Because when you're talking to somebody, you always want to listen to them. You always want to be attentive to what they're saying and give them and make sure that you're giving them a reason to talk. That's the reason why, like, when you got a situation like that, don't go in there on 10. Because if you go in there on 10, then they gonna get on 10, and the next thing you know, y'all gonna get arguing. If you talking to a violent person, somebody gonna get their ass slapped in the face. Somebody gonna get busted lips, and that's how people get thrown to the ground. Before you know it, elbows to the throat, and you waking up and your eyes black and your lip is bleeding, and police is there, and people is in jail. Slow down, stop and think. I'm playing. Let me read what's the name said. Um, hey cousin, here in Indiana, saw Unc this past weekend. Are you in that? I was supposed to be there today too. I wanted to be there for the funeral. I really wish I would have been there for the Lakers and the Indiana Pacers game. Rachel, what's up tonight? Rachel said assumptions build false agreements. You end up holding people to expectations they never accepted. Oh, that is dope. Let's read this out loud. Okay, so I'm gonna read it from over here on this other side. She says, assumptions build false agreements. You end up holding people to expectations they never accepted. Clarity protects both your peace and the relationships. And then Nikki Moore says, I definitely went through that. Just ask. There is nothing wrong with it. Just just don't go by assuming something. And then Anna says, that's correct because you're acknowledging that their feelings are valid, but you can agree to disagree. Okay, so now that we got what Rachel said, we got to post this one right here because this is dope. That's correct because acknowledging that their feelings are valid, you can agree to disagree. And that's what I'm saying, family. It's because if you seen a post and you see me in a picture with a lady and it seemed like, you know what I mean, we was all dressed up together and it seemed like everything was going on, don't necessarily mean that she was my woman. Now, on the flip side of that, me and her was not that close to the point where I feel like I had to call and ask for permission to go out with somebody. You know what I mean? We wasn't that close. But what you said, I would acknowledge your feelings for the simple fact that, you know what I mean, she meant something to me. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, she does. You dig what I'm saying? Like who she is as a person, I would never want her to feel like, you know what I mean, I'm just gonna shit on you and I'm never gonna tell you that. Because what she didn't know, me and her, a family member of hers, was just having a conversation about her the day before, and they was asking me, and it was a good conversation about how sweet and how cool she is. And then the next day, without her knowing that we had this conversation, she spazzed on me. You know what I mean? And so I'm very conscious of how I move. Like, even if we're not gonna be together, or we don't feel like we're gonna make it in a relationship, that don't mean that we gotta fall out. That don't mean that we gotta argue. I'm just not for you, and you just not for me. God bless you. You dig what I'm saying? Let's speak. Watch the podcast. Let's chop it up. Let's talk. So I never want to leave a situation and make it feel like I'm gonna disrespect you, or I'm gonna shit on you, or I'm gonna leave you in the blue. I'm gonna cheat on you. I'm gonna lie to you. You ain't finna get none of that from me. So if, like you said, family, if you ask me, then I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I owe you that, to keep it a buck with you. Then I could have told you that. You dig what I'm saying? But by the time they got done spazzing on me, I'm like, shit, you know something? I don't even care for neither one of y'all, to tell you the truth. Like, and it's true, because that person I dropped off, and that was nothing out the gate, nothing. And now you talking like that, nothing. You dig what I'm saying? And I shouldn't have said it. I mean, I exploded, and so I had to take it back. But at the end of the day, you see how I can escalate 0 to 100 real quick. And so here's some things that people usually make assumptions about. It's so cliche, but I've been telling y'all about this. Men automatically assume, you see a chick out in the club, she got a bad body, she got on some nice like little clothes, she's showing off her stomach, her waist, or something like that, her little panty line. You assume that since you bag her or you get her phone number, that you automatically got you a bad one. So now you think she wifey material. I'm finna lock her down. I'm finna do this and that. Man, you put that girl in your life. That girl, like, her credit ain't no good. She got bad spending habits. You know what I mean? Not only that, she ain't got no job. She ain't really on top of her square. Now, I'm making all of these up. I'm not saying that's what she really is, but I'm saying you assumed, because of her outward appearance, that okay, she dope. Like, oh, I found that. And people know exactly what to say. They know the right things to say when you meet them, and you really think you got you one. You think you got you a dime. You find out shorty less than a nickel. And it's not a shot. Because ladies, y'all do that too. You know what I mean? We talk about the guys being tall, dreadlocks, tattoos. You want the thug. You really think that you got your strong man. You don't really want no soft man. You want your strong thug man. Some ladies judge and pick men on based on height, because they feel like when they get with him based on his height or his size, that gonna automatically make the sex good. And what you'll do is, by picking him for his outward appearance, he's a cheater. He's a woman beater. You dig what I'm saying? He don't respect you. You dig what I'm saying? So all of the outside appearance don't make anything. You can't see his heart. So you will assume that, man, oh, I got me a good one. So now you ready to fight for him. You ready to show him off on this. I'm in love. Do you see how many chicks, man, are post a dude on the book like they just found the right one, and then in the next couple of months he ain't on nothing? Then it's the crime messages. I'm not taking shots, ladies, but I'm saying y'all emotional roller coaster be all over the place. Some people think, assuming that a person got money because they're a drug dealer, that, you know what I mean, you got you a real man. You might be with him like 6 months and fell in love with him. Now he got a Fed case. Okay, let me see what Rachel said. Rachel says, I gotta post it. Then I'll read y'all the main thing. She says, there's a difference between leading someone on and then running with an assumption. If you've been clear and consistent, their expectations are their responsibilities. Amen to that. But if your words and actions created confusions, you kind of owe them clarity. Yep. And the reason why I feel like that is so true is because now that's where the discussion comes into play. Any which way it goes, we got to have a talk. So more than likely, then, Rachel, I think I should probably talk about something like on communication, because people don't know how to communicate. You gave me a dope show, and I wanted to assess it and break it down and maybe come up with one of that, something on that topic about how people was raised, and you might perceive that they know everything that they know, but sometimes they're a product of their environment, of somebody never showed them how to lead. So before we go that deep and saying that people don't know how to communicate, This is communication. You dig what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, here it is. But if your words and actions created confusions, you kind of owe them clarity. You dig what I'm saying? And so, um, an example I would think of that would be like, if you telling a person that, you know what I mean, like you love them and like, yeah, you know what I mean, and they under the pretense that we're a team, or we're definitely finna be a team, then I can say I would have owed this person, you know what I mean, a explanation about where I was going. Me and this person, we was talking and we was becoming really close, and we had like some disagreements, and so we had kind of had friction where we hadn't been talking for like a little bit. And so in the midst of like not talking, some an event came up, and then that's how it happened. And so there was nothing that was in there that said, you know what I mean, I had to call in and tap in and tell you this, because nothing inside the pictures, I think, you know what I mean, just because two people stand next to each other, there was no kissing, there was no hugging, there was nothing like that. Two people taking a picture together, nothing in there said anything about us being together. There was no new post saying this is my boo. She never posted nothing saying, hey, this is my dude. None of that. It was just like, man, we was just out, and it was a bunch of people that was out. You dig what I'm saying? And we celebrated this lady. So I get that. I get that. I think that that's what's up. You know what I mean? So it wasn't that type of thing. And you said what? Shaking my head. So yeah. No, what are you shaking your head for, Nicole? It's explaining it. You dig what I'm saying? So um uh you I think what Rachel is trying to say, like, if you're in a situation with a person and you and this person are on the same page, that okay, we headed towards this, then I think, you dig what I'm saying, you should at least, you know what I mean, talk to people. You dig what I'm saying? You should at least do that. You know what I mean? And sometimes people can get the wrong thing and they can make assumptions. Now remember, we said body. People judge people on outward appearances. People judge people and think that they got money, make assumptions on people that got money. People make assumptions by listening to their friends. Some people got their mama in their ear. That's girl, you know what I mean? He ain't nothing. He look at this and look at that. And you judge a person thinking that this is who he is, and you'll make an assumption just based off of her opinion or some of your friends' opinion. Sometimes people make assumptions off their past experience, instead of asking questions. Like, I feel like this: if you've been hurt, you need to get somewhere and get yourself healed before you jump into a relationship, and then you think that okay, you finna be in this relationship, and now you got to make this man pay for everything else that you went through. You see what I'm saying? That ain't fair. Most of the times, ladies, if they get mad or defensive, you dig what I'm saying, then you already know they making that assumption. And a lot of times, let me give you this little tip. That's how you sometimes you can know when people is dealing with like multiple people, is when they get an attitude. You ask them a question about something, then all of a sudden they try to get mad and make it seem like, you know what I mean, you trying to judge them based of that, off an assumption or something like that. And it's just like, I'm just questioning your truth. Because sometimes you got the right, you know what I mean, when you're talking to somebody and you feel like it's finna be something, you got the right to say, hey, you know what I mean, can you let me know? You dig what I'm saying? Like what we got going on here, or what this is, and what we doing, and you know what I mean. And then be honest, because I mean, if this ain't what you want, then shit, you get them people the space to go and handle their business and find love and look for love. You dig what I'm saying? But don't just, you know what I mean, lead people on. You dig what I'm saying? If your words or your actions ain't clear, give a person clarity. You know what I mean? You least, we too grown. At least give them that. Rachel says she wasn't just reacting to a photo, she was feeling the weight of unspoken hope and the pain of watching someone she cared for treat her like a maybe while making someone else look like a yes. And you know what? I looked at that as an option, and I thought like, okay, that could possibly be it. You know what I mean? Maybe you speaking, you know what I mean, from truth. But the thing was, I hadn't spoke to the person in a while. You know what I mean? We hadn't even talked. We had stopped talking. We had like some disagreements and stuff like that, and we had stopped talking. Didn't mean that we wasn't friends or that we wasn't, you know what I mean, like cool. You know what I mean? I had some things that changed in my life. Life shifted, and sometimes things cave in, And any which way it goes, I mean, I don't want to go too deep into what caused us to, not to be talking, what I mean, like that. But one of the things is that there was no communication. And then this little situation that happened, the place that we went to, um, my family members, what I mean, introduced me to this person. It was like, man, this person is here. Like, boom, like, man, invite them out. Like we're gonna invite them out and we're gonna hang out and stuff like that. And I gotta tell you that I really didn't even know nothing about about the person. You take what I'm saying? Absolutely, like nothing about the person at all. You know what I mean? So I think that's what it made me so mad that, the person came to me like that, because it really wasn't nothing. You know what I mean? And I don't know. You're right. Being on Facebook, you dig what I'm saying, and doing a picture and posting it on Facebook could probably make somebody feel that way. And I think the post, the pictures was really about the event, was to, what I mean, to highlight the event. This person that turned 50, the party was dope as hell. And then, they was doing videos, you dig what I'm saying? So when you got there, you got interviewed on how the person used to be in high school. And this person, man, they party was like lit. And so it was just like, so we was in there and we was in there deep and we was representing her. And so everybody was posting, you know what I mean? There wasn't no way around it. You dig what I'm saying? There was no way around it, but it just, it made us blow up. Now, to me, what it did, it kind of just it hardened my heart, because I felt like this person accused me of something without talking to me. So then it made me madder. You know what I mean? And it wasn't the first time. It was like the second time. This one was on a major scale, but this was like the second one. So, okay, that's about assumptions. And remember that people will always get defensive if you challenge their truth. So if you come into them and you being positive, be positive, because you owe them that. And you do owe them clarification if y'all friends. I feel like if we care about each other, we can at least talk. You dig what I'm saying? We can have a conversation and clarification about different things and matters. The biggest thing is never lie to people. Don't lie to them and don't lead them on. You dig what I'm saying? And just don't lie to them. One of my problems is the shutdown thing. That's one of my red flags. When I feel like somebody treating me a certain way, boom, the brick wall. I do that and I gotta break that. So this is about me too. So this ain't just about other people. You dig what I'm saying? It's about me and my stinking attitude. So let me get to the other one. Let's go to presumptions. Let's go. Presumptions.
Today's word of the day is presumption. Presumption refers to the act of believing something to be true without having definite proof or taking something for granted. It can involve making assumptions about situations or people based on incomplete evidence, which can sometimes lead to misunderstandings or errors in judgment.
Presumptuous means disrespectfully bold. Here's an example. It is very presumptuous for a man to assume that he's gonna get the cookie just because he took you on a date.
Respectful. Yeah, for sure, because I'm gonna let you think for yourself. Right. The last thing I want to do for anybody is think for them. I think the most disrespectful thing you could do to somebody is think for them. It's like you're going to tell me what I'm thinking, what I want, what I don't want, and you're trying to play a situation out in your head based on what I would and wouldn't do, and you don't know and don't have the full facts of how I'm feeling in a moment when a situation is presented. Respect me enough to ask. So before you draw a whole puzzle in your head about what the conclusion might be, just simply show somebody the respect and say, you know what do you think about this? And that right there will save so many problems from occurring.
Holler at me first. You know what I mean? Like, don't do that. Holler at me instead of the presumptions. That's real talk. And I'm sorry if I had the microphone on and get the feedback, and that's what I'm saying. And so I've been through it too many times, and you know what I mean, in a situation. Past issues. Now, presumptions. Remember, presumptions means that you got a little bit of evidence, and what you're doing is you making a move based off that. Now, your evidence could be fucked up. So don't get yourself fucked up thinking that you know everything, because like Shorty said, just because you take a chick out don't mean that you're gonna get the cookie. Stop taking women out thinking that it's finna end with the bedroom, because that ain't how it go. You dig what I'm saying? Another one of the situations with presumption is that sometimes people overstep their boundaries because they be doing like bold shit. You dig what I'm saying? When they be thinking that they know you and they think they know what you like, or they feel like they can do this and that. And sometimes you don't got the right to do that. You got to start thinking before you presume that you finna do something and this is going to make this situation better, or you just going to do something for somebody without asking them. You dig what I'm saying? Like, say for instance, only time you can really get away with that is as if you're doing a surprise party for somebody's birthday, a big event or something like that. Man, don't, I could see if you was in a relationship with your wife or with your husband and y'all got years or y'all got months, y'all in tune with each other. So y'all can tap into each other and be like, okay, I'm finna surprise this person with that. Then you get a chance to pull off the chivalry, or, you know what I mean, something nice, or, spectacular, like a wow. You know what I mean? An engagement is a surprise. You dig what I'm saying? And even then, I'm gonna tell you something. Your your ass better be sure that this person love you before you get down on a knee in front of the world and do something real cool and they tell you no. You dig what I'm saying? Because when you do that, you moving still, it can still be off of false pretense. I don't care what you think you found out in the past or how you treated somebody else in the past. That right there, that behavior is bogus because you moving boldly. You dig what I'm saying? And I'm just gonna keep it 100. A person did me like that. You know what I mean? Planned something for me because they just assumed that this would be a nice gesture, but didn't, you know what I mean? Never asked me about it. And so since it was sort of like a surprise, it didn't go right. It didn't go right, and then we winded up again not talking. You know what I mean? And it was just like, you and your feelings now. You mad because you planned something, and I had something else going on. You dig what I'm saying? And you didn't have the right to even do that. You dig what I'm saying? You didn't have the right to do that, and then try to make me feel guilty because you tried to do something special and I didn't even know it. My whole motives or my motion was somewhere else. My motion was straight family. My motion was dealing with family, and then you do something, and then now you want to try to hold that against me or hold that over my head. I've had a person who felt like, you know what I mean, they can buy me something, and I didn't ask for it. That's wrong. That's a presumption. You know what I mean? Where you feel like, okay, you see me doing something and you feel like you want to help me out. And then you turn around and you go do that and you go and buy something that I didn't ask you for. That, I mean, I don't know about some guys, man, but you know what I mean? I'm like, I'm a go-getter. I get my own money. I'm not saying I'm rich. I'm not saying I got it like that. But I will handle my business. You dig what I'm saying? I've never leaned on a woman to handle business for me. And I'm not taking that away from women who do nice gestures or nice things for men. But you better know that you're doing the right thing. You dig what I'm saying? Don't go and do something for somebody because you think that, you know what I mean, all right, it's going to be like that. Or that's going to move the mountain. That's going to make a person, you know what I mean, like really love you. Like, number one, if a dude calls you baby, you think he like you. Why would you move him in your house? Just because you move a dude inside your house does not mean that he is a faithful guy. It does not mean that he's a leader. Just because you move this nigga into the house does not mean that he is a bill payer, like he pays bills or like he's got his stuff together. You move him into your house, then all of a sudden, when these bills start hitting every month, see, here's the thing, ladies, y'all got to remember. And this is one thing that you might want to think about. I'm finna give you a gem. You let fam come through, you cook him a meal. He might bring some drink, he might bring some smoke. Y'all do Netflix. So now y'all done hung out. Y'all did something at the crib. Y'all go out, y'all play pool. Y'all might do some bowling or something like that. So when he come over, he bring like little things. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, he got something to drink. Or you gonna cook? So he come through with like steak and stuff like that. He'll bring the meal and he'll bring something through. So then all of a sudden you smiling, you giggling, night to get high, a little drink, a little smoke. He knock you down. You feeling good in the morning. Now you all on the phone with your girls like, dang girl, he dope. He come through here, he be bringing food. He be playing video games with my son and stuff like that. So now you think you got you one. Now the presumption is to move him in Fam is a man. I need him around. I'm a single parent. You dig what I'm saying? On the low, you know that you need help with these bills. And then just think, like sometimes when you messing with drug dealers, they might pay a cable bill. They might pay, you know what I mean, a Netflix bill or something like that in the beginning, just, you know what I mean, to make it seem like they're a part of something. But when you move this dude in, fam don't clean up. The bills start coming in, and then he looking around like shit. Them ain't my bills. Like, you dig what I'm saying? You got to know these things. Now all of a sudden he's got all of these different bad habits just because you moved him in your house and he came through and he was cool that first month and a half, 2 months, 3 months. Now you done moved him in. He ain't even really ready for no relationship. He ain't really no grown man. You presumed that this dude was that. You had a presumption that he showed you a few things, and based off of this little bit of evidence, he showed you a few minor things, and you done jumped the gun and you done moved fam in the crib. You did. You think Shorty dope because she got a bad little body. You dig what I'm saying? You take her out, y'all look good on trips, y'all go out of town. You put a ring on her finger, but she's still entertaining cats from out of town. You dig what I'm saying? She go out of town, somebody else call her bad. He got a bigger car than yours, or he got a bigger bank account than yours, and she gone. She on that because she ain't on nothing anyway. She chasing the high of her body, and she's a trophy. Some chicks was a trophy. So, when they glamming their bodies up, getting them BBLs and they doing that shit, you know what I mean? They know what it is. And so to make up for where they suck, I hate to say it like that, but to make up for where they suck at, sometimes women will paint the outside and make the outside look good because the inside is fucked up. The inside is horrible, insecure. They ugly hearts, attitudes. They got nasty mouths. They got a nasty attitude. And every time you talk to them, they snapping and all of this old, talk to the hand. Like, okay, dummy. No, I'm just playing. But I get tired of that. You dig what I'm saying? That attitude and that mentality, think that somebody's supposed to chase you, or you feel like you're a boss because you got a little something you making a few little moves. But at the end of the day, little mama, your attitude sucks so bad. You dig what I'm saying? It stinks. So, you will presume that you got you a bad one because how she look. And that's not a shot at any beautiful women that do the gym bodies, or if you got a BBL, to each his own. If you feel like you want to get your breasts done, you want to get your butt done, and that's what's gonna make you look beautiful, I say it's your life. You dig what I'm saying? Do what you want to do. I'm talking about the inside. You know what I mean? I'm talking about people will look at that and assume that they got them a wife material. Um, some chicks will get with a dude, and once they have a kid, they think that okay, they got him. That you know what I mean? I'm gonna make him mine because I got pregnant by him, and you'll be stuck. You dig what I'm saying? And now because you done seen him pick up his kids here and there and cut their hair. Maybe his kids was out of town, they coming in town, so he do this and that. You get pregnant by him, man. He's a deadbeat father. But you just seen a few little birthday parties. You seen a few little things that he did with his kids, and now all of a sudden you think he that. You see her do a few little things around the house with her kids, go to a few things. You move in with Shorty. She really ain't a mother. She don't know how to help her kids with homework. Them kids don't go to bed on time. They talk back to her. They talk crazy to her. And the worst thing you can do is get into a relationship with a woman and her kids is disrespectful and they're not your kids. Oh, it's the worst. I ain't gonna even front. I ain't gonna even front. And ladies, I get it. You dig what I'm saying? Sometimes the man is supposed to be the leader. And so, um, when that man is the leader of the house, that's where discipline comes with the kids. You dig what I'm saying? That's where it really comes at. But I'm gonna tell you something, ladies. It ain't nothing like coming to a house and you got a house full of disrespectful kids. You know what I mean? So that's a whole nother note. What we saying? Replying to Skylar, where you at? Okay, Skylar I'm snapped in here. That's my little sister. What's going down, Skylar? Needs to be established on his own first. Exactly. So when we was talking about seeing this man and thinking that he's this, making a presumption off a few things that you see and jump the gun, go and get pregnant by him or move him in his house. Skylar is saying he needs to be established first. So let's see what Rachel said. Rachel said, replying to Skylar Williams, Skylar, that part, because why would he be moving in with me, especially that fast? Because where is his house at? And see, that's the thing. Sometimes, ladies will pick up a guy, say coming from the halfway house, Rach, You know, he in the halfway house, he's working, he's got a little job. So here they come feeling like, all right, they've been alone for so long. They done met them a good dude. So now, all right, to get him out the halfway house, you moved him into your crib because you thought that he was on one. And then next thing you know, it's a nightmare from hell. You know what I mean? Because while you picking him up from the halfway house, giving him rides, you know, somewhere to do some little shopping or taking him back and forth to work or to cash his check, boom, he hitting you with gas, he taking you out to eat because he got it like that. You dig what I'm saying? See, when them guys is in the halfway house, I'm finna drop a gem on you real quick, right? They so happy to be home that it's just like it's a gratitude moment. Everything on the inside feel real good. So when people picking them up, you making sure you bless them with gas money. If we go get something to eat, it's on me. You dig what I'm saying? Sometimes I ain't gonna say it. It's all the time. And then sometimes you got women who are wild. So you make this presumption that okay, just because he did these few things for you, all right, he's a good dude. Only thing he needed was a boost. I'm finna bring him into my life. I'm finna, man, let him move in here. I give him somewhere to lay his head. And that's all he was doing. He was waiting like, man, I can't wait to be home. And now, you know, he feed you that sob story, then he gone. What did you say, Chris? Chris says, that is what I needed to work on and fix my attitude. I mean, but here's the thing, Chris, when you recognize something like me, I had to recognize my presumptions and my assumptions because I was in this whole thing of throwing up this brick wall. Now, the story that I was giving you about the young lady who made the assumption on me, take that off the table, and Shorty is a beautiful person. I'm talking about beautiful from the outside, beautiful on the inside, beautiful career. No, nothing wrong with the person, but that don't necessarily mean that you always clicking on all four cylinders. You dig what I'm saying? So when you having an attitude and stuff like that, just because people are beautiful and stuff like that, it don't mean that we don't got flaws. You dig what I'm saying? Because I know, man, I got them. So ain't no sense in me sitting up here on a podcast trying to make it seem like I'm giving y'all some shit, some information like I got it together. First person I'm gonna tell on is myself. But here's the thing. I'm never gonna lie to you. I'm gonna let you know out the gate, like, man, I struggle. I can't multitask. I'll drop the ball on communication or the callbacks. And you know what I mean? My mind is all over the place, especially like in these last couple of years. I ain't been able to get it together. You know what I mean? And so a lot of times I don't want to keep sounding like a broken record about the institutionalized, but I struggle. And it's effed up because you know what I mean. You get tired. You get tired of being by yourself. You dig what I'm saying? And then that brick wall, throwing up that brick wall, canceling people out. You dig what I'm saying? There was times where I canceled this person just out of my life and stopped communicating. You know what I mean? Because other situations that was going on, and I just close people out. You dig what I'm saying? And it ain't right. You dig what I'm saying? And so there's some things that I got to work on myself. You know what I mean? Here's the key though, Chris. When you see it, you got to kill it or it'll kill you. And that's how that one go. Rachel says, you lost me at the halfway house. He focused on the wrong thing. No, at the halfway house, what I'm trying to say is when dudes get out, Rachel, it's like they do nice things, you know, because they're in a good mood. You know, nigga been locked up for like years. He come home, he done ran into like a little chick. You know, he might have been talking to her on the phone before he even came to the crib. So now, while he's in prison, he done gassed her up. She the one that's putting money on his phone. She putting money on his books. And then when he come home, he's playing this little part like, you know, he's this good dude. So now he's got to live up to these phone calls. So now when he start getting them checks in, like boom, he want to take her out to eat. He's a gentleman. When he get out that motherfucking halfway house and he start hitting the streets and he get a chance to get to the club and he get around other people, and then you know how it is when people have been in prison, they just came home, they face got that glow, they healthy, they swole, they've been eating good, you know, the attention is good because everybody out here been sharing all these dudes. They all sucked all in, face look crazy, they've been smoking and drinking, and now they look a mess. Here come homie, he come home, he good. He got a good woman. Don't roll with your punk ass while you was in the jail, while you was in the joint. She rolled with your punk ass. She put money on your books. Then you get home, you get a little bit of ground up under your feet, and now you gone and you out here having sex with everybody. And I ain't trying to tell on my guys. I'm just trying to tell y'all, fam, my dudes, y'all mess it up because y'all will destroy a good woman when you do her like that. When you do her like that, bro, You dig what I'm saying? Y'all break her down. The next thing you know, here come a good guy trying to come into her life, and she fucked all up. She threw. Because now she just think, you know what I mean, everybody is on that. And I'm not gonna blame it all on her, because sometimes y'all gotta have some sense about yourself. Y'all gotta stop. You know what I mean? Y'all try to remember that little song my man E40 had, Captain Save a Hoe. Some of y'all be out here saving dudes. You dig what I'm saying? Y'all be out here saving them, and he ain't worth nothing. He ain't worth a wooden nickel. You dig what I'm saying? I hate to tell it to you like that, but that's how it go. That's the reason why I don't like nobody buying me nothing. Don't buy me shit. I'm a grinder. I'm a go getter. Cause you ain't finna throw nothing in my face and be like, I did this and I did that for you. So don't do it presuming that this is what I need and go buy some shit and bring it to me thinking that you didn't won me over, because I might have been cool with just your heart. I might have been cool with a smile. I'm cool with a plate. Bring me something to eat and we friends. You dig what I'm saying? Do some cool shit like that for me. Boy, if you feed me, we cool. You dig what I'm saying? You want to play some cards, and we can do little bitty things make me feel good. Don't be buying me no motherfucking shoes and no pants or nothing. You know what I mean? Until we in that relationship. Now we in a relationship and you do some cool shit. You think you know my style and you bring me some stuff. It's cool. Cause then that means I'm in my position. Cause now we a team that when I go somewhere, I'm looking out for you too. We ain't finna do that. What you saying, Skylar? He needs that time to find himself. And sometimes men need to be told that. I think people move from the dating phase too soon. All right, let me see what the other one says. Then Skylar says sometimes they need that space to figure themselves out and take time to get established and then find a woman that can add value or aspect. Well, let me post this one. She says, what you say, Chris? I see others acting that way, jumps out at me, and I realize how I looked and sounded with that attitude. Disgusting. The only thing you can do, Chris, is like when you see it inside yourself. Okay, real quick before I go to what Skylar was saying. When I went to prison, I knew I was fucked up. You dig what I'm saying? I knew I had some funky ways that was in me. So when I was in a joint, again, I don't want to keep beating you over the head with this. No women. I wasn't sitting on the phone talking to girls. I wasn't sitting broken promises, come up and see me, writing letters, building cards and shit like that. I was writing poems and selling them. Here, send this to your girl. Tell me a little bit about your girl. I'll write you some shit. Boom. I'll make you like a little card. Send that shit home. Give me a pop or a couple of envelopes or something like that. That was it. I did 15 years without a woman because I knew I needed to get me together. You dig what I'm saying? So when I came home, all of the funky shit that was in me, I needed to kill him. You know what I mean? You just took me away from my kids. You dig what I'm saying? Them is the most important girls in my life right there is my daughters. So now that I missed, so much of their life, I needed to, come back and be right. You dig what I'm saying? And so back to what Skylar was saying, let me see. She said he needs that time to find himself. And sometimes men need to be told that. I think people move from dating phase too soon. Then she said, sometimes they need that space to figure themselves out and take the time to get established and then find a woman that can add value on all aspects. And that's the problem, ladies. See, here go the thing right here. You trying to build a dude and you making this presumption like, okay, he ain't got this, he ain't got that. Let me give him a ride. Let me go buy him some socks and some t-shirts, some deodorant, go get him some cologne, maybe a couple of outfits, some sweatsuits so he can keep it moving while he going back and forth to work. Now you presume that you done put him together and that he just automatically got this shit together. Okay, swole. He just came home from the joint. He looked good. Ain't nobody had him. While y'all been out here having sex with everybody and doing this and that, ain't nobody had him. So you think you done wrapped him up with the little shit that you done gave him. And like Tyler said, soon as he get us some space, he gone. You was a stepping stone. Now he gone. And my mans, stop doing that. See, if you get your shit established, here go the whole plan right here. If I holler at you, sweetheart, best believe that there's something inside of my wheelhouse that can make you better, and you got some shit that can make me better. If we can't make each other better, then I ain't, you know what I mean? What are we doing? I ain't got nothing to do if I can't make you better. You know what I mean? If I got to be able to inspire you, encourage you or something, I got to let you, you know what I mean? And if you in her house and, she doing all of this for you, nigga, you should be cleaning up and cooking and you should been picked up something. You know what I mean? I don't get it. It's so crazy out here. And I'm not trying to say like I'm just the best man or like I just know everything because I ain't got it together. I'm still a lunatic in my mind right now. But what I am saying is that when we get to a certain age, we got to be tired of playing, bro. Got to start telling the truth. So remember that, ladies. Because he call you baby, that don't mean he love you. Just because you wife her, my dude, don't mean that she's a wife material. It ain't just about guys. Some of y'all ladies or guys that get a good lady, and then you just ain't satisfied with him. As soon as somebody else pull up on you with something different, you feel like his pockets is bigger, or you feel like he look bigger, or something like that. It's gone. People is cheating on their man like every day. Let their man go to prison. Y'all cheat on your man. Y'all cheat on your husbands. Y'all do it. You dig what I'm saying? Just because you looking for a temporary high. So that presumption is that, okay, I'm just gonna do this. Now you done brought a whole situation into your life. You dig? And so the assumptions and the presumptions can lead to disaster. You get to assuming that you know what people is doing and you don't got no knowledge or no evidence. You ain't finna do nothing but be arguing all day. A presumption is saying, I based off my past history or some of your behaviors, or if I do this, I know you ain't got no ride to work. I give you a ride to work. I'm just presuming that shit, you gonna love me. You gonna respect me for giving you a ride to work. So when you get out the halfway house, when you get on your feet, you know what I mean, we're gonna keep this thing together. So you gave him this boost, feeling like, okay, you got you a good man. Like you built him up and he ain't really ready. He ain't on no grown people shit. Okay, let's see what Rachel say. I'm gonna post it and I'm gonna read it. She says, I think some men pursue relationships before they're established because being chosen feels better than being disciplined. But without stability, what starts as a connection often turns into chaos. And I think that's the truth because one of the things is you said the word chosen, but sometimes with men being hunters, they want to feel like they caught something. You know what I mean? They want to, you know, um, a woman can choose them and you can still feel good, but it ain't nothing like you chasing the woman and finally catching her. You dig what I'm saying? That's like when women play hard to get and then a man finally get her, he usually feel like he won the prize. Sometimes when women choose the man, you know, especially, when women be out here choosing men that's, all right, he's 6 feet tall, he got dreads, he got tats, and you think like, okay, just because he on that, he got bad sex. That's the reason why they kind of like treat y'all like shit. That's the reason why they run through y'all. They're kind of like arrogant, sort of how like the light skinned guys used to be back in the 80s and the 90s. Remember, they had Michael Jackson, Prince, and Elder Bars. So if they was light skinned girls, used to love the light skinned guys with the good hair. And then next thing you know, they be breaking their heart. Then everybody started liking like the Wesley Snipes, the Tyrese, or something like that. The dark skinned brothers. And then next thing you know, dark skinned dudes just started shitting on women. You know what I mean? And that's how it goes. Whenever y'all ladies pick like a thing or a fling and y'all make it like, oh girl, he this and he that, and I go for this and that. Whenever you make him feel popular, 9 times out of 10 he's shitting on you. And I ain't gonna say 9 times out of 10 because I'm not gonna put that label on all guys. But when you do it like that, he shit on you. Because if you really want the man, let him chase you. You dig what I'm saying? Let him pursue you and stuff like that. And it's okay to like what you want and to go after him too. It can be sexy, but you got to have some discernment. You know what I mean? You got to have some type of discernment, about what it is, because I ain't gonna front. It is cool when a woman do choose you, you know what I mean? And she makes you feel like you something. That right there can make a man feel like a king. You know what I'm saying? In the right situation, it can make a man feel like a king. But is he, pursuing you and making you feel like you're a queen? You dig what I'm saying? Is he telling you, that you that? Does he show you that you that? Because it ain't nothing wrong with reciprocating the energy, you know? Chris says, good podcast, gotta run. Okay, Chris, be careful. Cousin, what's going down, little cuz? And so that's it. You know what I mean? We at the 9 o'clock mark. Listen, ladies, um, do a better job with assuming, because it will mess up some shit. Do a better job. Communication is everything. One of the things that I'm learned and I have learned, remember, I assumed that just because people green light was active in Messenger, that they was up, and I jumped in Shorty's box. Okay, that's an assumption. Me and her got into it and the shit went bad. That was my fault. That was an assumption. You dig what I'm saying? But then again, here's a presumption. She thought that just because other niggas is saying different stuff like that, that somebody was trying to talk to her. You dig what I'm saying? And me, I'm just a cool person. You dig what I'm saying? I try to treat all people with respects, and I always try to be funny, and sometimes that could be my fault. Stop playing all the time and joking and being funny. Some people don't take it like that, but it's really real. Learn what's the difference, get the discernment out, but then also um, learn how to communicate. Text sometimes takes shit out of context. You know what I mean? You can text somebody and you can use a word, your choice of words that you might do. And then sometimes you might do a typo. And next thing you know, you mad at a person. Like you hot, you sitting up mad, and it was a typo. Or you read a text the wrong way. And if you that mad that you read a text and you got mad, and then all of a sudden it's like that, or if something made you mad, won't you call them back and just check on them? Ask that question. Don't ever be scared to stop and think about it before you make an assumption and say, hey, you know what I mean? When you said that, I felt like this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you really mean that? Okay. And so if I am this type of person, or if I did say this, how did you feel about that? Did I make you feel away? You dig what I'm saying? When it comes to presumptions, stop feeling like I know something that happened in the past and I'm going to use this little information based off of this. I'm finna make a move and try to make you my man. I'm finna try to make you my girl. Or I'm finna shit on you. I'm finna dog you out because I know you ain't shit. Look at how you wear your pants. Your pants are sagging and you smoke weed and you just a thug. And so you ain't really ready. It's like, stop. Or just because you feel like you got a little bit of bread and you take a chick on a date and you buy her something, that don't mean, boy, you finna go home and have sex with that woman. Stop. We gotta stop playing all the time. I guess what it basically boils down to, man, start being honest and start being grown. Grow up. Everybody got to grow up and start, you know what I mean, talking to people and communicating better. And the text is not going to do it. You know what I mean? The motherfucking text is going to have somebody stretched out in the street with their face cracked open. No, I'm just playing. Tanisha, what's going down, buddy? When the next time you cooking, man, so somebody can come over there and eat some of that stuff, man. One time, Tanisha made a plate. It was so dope. We used to work together. That's my buddy. What's going down? But it's really real. You know what I mean? Here it is in a nutshell. If you always keep it 100, you always be honest, you going, you know what I mean, you can figure it out. And you got to trust that a person is telling you the truth. Now, if they a bona fide liar and they've been lying to you, I get it. But when you know, if I keep it real with this person, or if I come to this person and ask them, I know this person is going to tell me the truth, you can't be mad at that. You know what I mean? Whether it's good or whether it's bad. Sometimes people don't want to hear the truth. And so motherfuckers be ducking and dodging it. So soon as somebody tell them the truth, or they challenge their truth, all of a sudden now you got attitude. You mad because somebody challenging the truth. Communicate like you grown and act like you got some sense about yourself. Number two, learn how to communicate. Be grown and stop running up on people with the rah-rah. You know, you don't have to, your voice don't have to be on 100 to get an answer out of a person. You know what I mean? You ain't got to talk to people like that, you know what I mean, to get an answer out of somebody. And just because you talk loud, that don't mean that somebody finna listen to you or somebody got to bow down to you. Only thing you finna do is make them mad. So you can save all of them wasteless texts, trying to type all these fancy words and trying to be smart and be slick and then cuss people out, or think that just because you blocked them, you just won the argument, because your dumb ass just gonna be by yourself. You know what I mean? You're gonna keep losing. Because at the end of the day, whatever energy you put out into the world, that's what's coming back to you. And that's how it's going to be. So whether you assume or presume, whatever you put out into the universe, it's coming back to you, man. Listen, I got some more hair to cut. The guys is going on a trip, and guess who they barber is? Bare Truth. And guess what else? I love y'all. So listen, um, Hody, rest in heaven, my dude. Rest in peace. I love you, my man. Lil Ronnie, Crystal, Deshauna, man. God bless y'all. Miss Angeletta, I'm gonna make it over there sooner or later. You know what I mean? And I hope somebody save me an obituary. Cowboy, Mikey, what's up, man? Easy, Spitty B. All of my guys is over there. They over there at the funeral, man. Probably Don over there, JR, you know what I mean? I don't even know who left, because the neighborhood, we done lost so many guys. So many people done died on us, man. But crew life. 16th Street forever, baby. East side, 16th Street. I love y'all, man.